Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
Digital finance.
October 30th, 9:57 America New York. Finoverse takes Hong Kong connectivity worldwide. The company behind HK FinTech Week rebrands to drive conversations about Web3 to new markets. The post Finoverse takes Hong Kong connectivity worldwide appeared first on Digital Finance.
Global economy.
October 30th, 8:16 America New York. German workers fire warning shot with pay strikes. Thousands down tools as unions seek highest wage rise in more than a decade.
New York Times Business.
October 30th, 8 o'clock America New York, using superheroes to sell, this time to adults. There have long been superhero products aimed at children. But now the characters are being used to hawk vitamin supplements and beer to older consumers.
Daily FX Market News.
October 30th, 8 o'clock America New York. S&P 500. Nasdaq 100. Dow Jones. Mega-cap tech Hammerings Rattle sentiment. This week's Q3 earnings releases roiled equity market sentiment with high-profile names Amazon and Meta, in particular, hitting the Nasdaq hard.
BBC News Business.
October 30th, 7:52 America New York. Philip Hammond. Raise taxes for all to improve services. The former chancellor says all earners will need to see higher taxes if public services are to improve.
Global economy.
October 30th, 7:21 America New York. Western countries slam Russia's decision to exit Black Sea grain deal. Washington says it is a purely outrageous action that risks increasing starvation.
Global economy.
October 30th, 7 o'clock America New York. The tricky balancing act for central banks. Beating high inflation is vital, but risks of tighter policy are mounting.
New York Times Business.
October 30th, 5 o'clock America New York. TV prepares for a chaotic midterm night. Broadcasters face challenges as they approach the climax of an election season marked by disinformation and distrust. CBS has been televising elections since 1948.
Daily FX Market News.
October 30th, 2 o'clock America New York. Canadian dollar weekly forecast. USD, CAD keenly awaits FOMC after BOC shock. Teaser. USD CAD fundamentals are somewhat mixed ahead of next week's FOMC meet while technical factors imply upside potential.
Daily FX Market News.
October 29th, 2000 America New York. EUR USD rate outlook hinges on Fed rate decision. EUR USD may struggle to retain the advance from the monthly low, 0.9632, as the Federal Reserve is expected to implement another 75 BP rate hike.
Marginal revolution.
October 29th, 1700 America New York. Ruble Museum, Washington, D.C., review. I give it an A+. D.C. now has a new museum, taken from one family collection, namely the Rubles, who already opened a large and excellent private museum in Miami. If you know that place, this one will not surprise you.
Marginal revolution.
October 29th, 1450 America New York. Saturday assorted links. 1. To be clear, I do not object to the world idolized by the New York Times, NYT. And, as a side note, maybe I've been thinking too much about AI lately, but does anyone else have the impression that article was written by GPT?
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
October 29th, 12 o'clock America New York. Pfizer, Uber and Starbucks highlight another busy earnings week. Nearly a third of the S&P 500 is slated to report earnings in the coming days.
The Library of Economics and Liberty.
October 29th, 10:35 America New York. German gas and knowledge problems. It rarely happens that politicians explicitly acknowledge that they failed to understand what they thought they could design. Unfortunately, that they acknowledge this does not mean that they stopped designing.
BBC News Business.
October 29th, 9:24 America New York. Octopus Energy to take over collapsed supplier Bulb. Bulb's 1.5 million customers will not experience any change to energy supplies, the UK government says.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
October 29th, 9 o'clock America New York. Automakers had solid third quarter, but investors remain skeptical. Industry executives are touting strong demand and better than expected earnings, even as economic speed bumps multiply.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
October 29. 9 o'clock America New York. Why the future of the computer is everywhere, all the time. Ambient computing is coming, and it promises to change how we interact with the world. But there are still a lot of challenges and concerns to overcome.
New York Times Business.
October 29. 8 o'clock America New York. Salary transparency has arrived. Companies are catching up. New York City joins a handful of states in requiring employers to disclose salary ranges for openings. The goal is to narrow disparities.
Marginal revolution.
October 29, 7:25 America New York. A safety emergency happened at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in November of 2019. ProPublica, with Vanity Fair, is putting their reputation on the line with a very damning report suggesting COVID emerged from a lab leak at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
BBC News Business.
October 28, 1734 America New York. You think twice about driving, fuel prices rise again. The rise in diesel and petrol prices is having a particularly tough impact in rural areas.